So I didn't have to give GRE. This particular course doesn't have a lot of TARA opportunities. I have not really met somebody who did not end up getting a job. Not every city also has the public transport system. So I broke down my LORs into two groups. They offering up to 20% scholarship. It's not practical to be working 20 hours a week. It's a very time-consuming course.
Hey guys, welcome to College Dunia Study Abroad. This is Varun, and today we have Anushka Singh with us. She's pursuing her master's in innovation and management at Tufts University, Boston. So, hi Anushka,
Hello,
how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. So, Anushka, can you introduce yourself and talk a bit about your background for our viewers?
Yeah. So my name is Anushka. I have a background in computer science. So I did my undergrad in computer science engineering from Hyderabad, from Mahindra University. Then I worked for a few years at SS&C Technologies as a software engineer. And then I joined Tufts University for my master's in innovation and management.
Okay,
And here
that's
I
nice.
am.
So, Anushka, what was your undergrad like? What were your grades?
I mean, grade-wise, I was like above average student. I wasn't exceptional or anything, but I
Uh-huh.
did have a lot of like extracurricular activities, and I was very active in those areas.
Mm-hmm.
It yeah, I have
Yeah,
led a bunch
I
of
believe you
events
start,
in my college.
yeah, I believe you had
Yeah,
your own startup kind of thing
I
or something.
did. Towards my end of third year, my friend and I, because that was when we had just started lockdown. So
Mm-hmm.
me and my friend kind of decided that we would start a stationery business from home at
That's
that point
nice.
of time. So yeah, that's how that kicked off. And then
Are you
yeah,
still currently continuing it or you
so
like
we
up?
couldn't continue it because both of us came for master's degrees
Oh,
to the
okay.
US. So you technically cannot work on it, and we didn't really
Yes. Yeah.
find a way to hand it over.
Well,
So
I think that's a experience you gained. I mean, like it really helps you
yes,
out in the future, I guess.
yeah.
So, Anushka, which all universities did you apply for?
I think I had applied for a good like 10 universities. I didn't go too many, but I didn't go too few either. I had got selected for like USC, for WashU, for
Okay.
Northeastern. I got
Okay.
selected for
Okay.
Northeastern as well. I got yeah, and then there was some other. I had gotten selected for Hult Business School, but yeah,
Okay.
out
So
of all
why
of those, I found
Tufts?
Tufts to be the curriculum, and the university was probably the best out of all. And that there were like very individual reasons why I chose to reject certain universities.
Okay.
The closest match to Tufts University's course that I found was in Washington University in St. Louis.
Okay.
Their engineering management course was really good, and the between those two universities, the only thing that made a difference was the city. So St. Louis
Okay.
versus Boston.
Okay.
Boston was more of a city
Yes.
vibe. It wasn't just a college town, whereas St. Louis is just a college town.
So
So
your one of your priorities was the location.
yes, yes.
Okay, that's
I
nice.
mean, I grew up in Mumbai my whole life. I went to college in Hyderabad, so I'm not really. I need something even beyond just the college grounds.
Yeah.
I cannot live in
Yeah, that
a
makes
college.
sense. That makes sense. So you are like a metropolitan city person.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so like, did you give any GRE, IELTS, or TOEFL during your master prep?
I applied during the COVID era, so I didn't have to give GRE, but I gave TOEFL.
Okay,
Yeah,
what
and
was
I
your
think
score like?
if I remember correctly, I got like a 101 out
Oh,
of 120
that's
for
that's a
TOEFL.
decent, nice score. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
nice. And how did you manage your SOP and LOS? Like, what was your SOP like? Can you
Hmm.
just give a really like a crisp answer
Yeah.
about like what each section had?
So for my SOP, what I did was I had reached out to a lot of my friends who had either gone for their master's programs before,
Mm-hmm.
or like seniors from my college who had also come for their master's program, and I read through
Okay.
their SOPs, and I took a similar structure to what they were using.
Okay.
And obviously, I think I started off, I don't remember the intro paragraph as such, but I started off with my undergraduate experience, then my work experience,
Okay.
then talking in the undergrad, all my extracurricular activities, stressing
Mm-hmm.
on how that made a difference. Because I was
Okay.
applying to all engineering management kind of courses. So I had
Okay.
to stress on the fact that I had management like capabilities,
Yeah.
and I was able to integrate that with engineering capabilities to a certain extent, but not completely.
Yes,
Because
that's true.
the idea is to prove that you need to you're a good candidate to learn the course, and not to prove that you already know what the course is going to teach you.
Got
So
you. That's
yeah,
right,
so that
actually.
was
That makes
really,
sense.
yeah, that was important. Then I remember my second to last paragraph was talking about my work experience, whether it's my startup or and like my experience as a software
Professional
engineer.
experience, yeah.
And then the last paragraph, I would always add a custom paragraph for each university,
Mm-hmm.
based on why I want to take that course, what was so appealing. A lot
Okay.
of times, this information came from like attending their information sessions. Like all these universities have info sessions. I would attend
Okay.
those, and I would ask questions, and I would kind of get a feel, because they normally have the professors who teach in the courses normally
Yeah.
end up showing up, or like an alumni or a current student will show up for
Yeah.
those info sessions. So I normally take those interactions, and if I've had like a specific interaction, I will mention in my SOP.
That's nice.
Yeah.
So you were making really pretty customized SOPs, I guess.
Yes. Yeah.
That's nice. And coming to the LORs, like how many LORs did you take, and were they
Hmm.
professional or academic? How many of them?
Yeah. So I broke down my LORs into two groups. I had a total of 6 people that I had contacted, who had agreed to give me letters of recommendation. And for 5 universities, I had the first 3. For the other 5, I had the second 3.
Okay.
All 3 were 2 academic, 1 professional.
Oh, okay. That's nice. That's actually well planned, I guess.
Yeah.
So
Because I
let
mean, a lot
yeah.
of if you apply to a lot of these master's university degrees, a lot of them will ask you that they will tell you upfront that they prioritize the academic LORs. So
Yeah.
it's important to have a little bit more, unless you are talking about like 5+ years of experience, and then you are
Mm-hmm.
going for an MBA course, then having everything to be professional LORs is fine. But if it's
Okay.
less than 5 years, they normally expect academic LORs to be there.
So, talking about your course structure, can you talk a little bit on it? Like it's
Yeah.
innovation and management, right? It's a
Yeah.
kind of a unique name. So,
Yes.
can you talk about it and a little bit, and also the course structure?
Yeah. So the purpose of innovation and management is, a lot of people, as a cheats way, they consider it an engineer's MBA. But
Okay.
it's a little bit more than that, because what you do in this course is you understand the entire product life cycle that happens, but you also learn about other managerial experiences, whether it's working with teams, whether it's working in startups, or in different, how do you manage conflicts, how do you deal with
Okay.
different difficult conversations, difficult scenarios, and things like that. If you
Okay.
if you listen to the executive director of the program ever speak, he will always say that the purpose of this program is to create leaders with heart. And the
Okay.
idea for that is, a lot of times we forget what the main goal of leadership is,
Yeah.
where you're not a leader for like the position or the money or the company, or you're a leader for the people. Right. So
Yes.
it's very important to start with empathy. It's very important to start with that as your base.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of the motto of the program. The way it is structured is, it's a 1-year program. So it's a
Okay.
spring, fall, summer. And
Okay.
each semester you do these sprints. A
Okay.
sprint is nothing but so at the start of at the start of fall, you will be put into a team, because you don't really know anybody when you come into the program. You'll be assigned a team. And with that team, what you will be doing is you will be going out and you'll be interviewing a lot of people. You'll be finding, okay, what are the pain points that these people have? Then you will find a solution for those pain points and proceed that way. Now, the reason why the sprints are very important and a very valuable experience is because the first semester, let's say you're dealing with, you have courses like marketing, finance, leadership, and then new product innovation. So the product part of it, like, okay, going out, interviewing people, getting what problems they have, finding a solution, that will get graded for the new product innovation. The marketing strategies that you develop for your product will get graded for your marketing class. The financial modeling and the business modeling will get graded for your finance course. Your team dynamics and how your team is functioning will get graded for your leadership course.
Sounds like a really, really unique kind of course with unique evaluation.
Yes, it's a very, very practical experience course. The idea here is not to learn from a classroom, but to learn by doing. So you do that over fall. In the spring also, you do the same thing. You have the option of like continuing with the same team or changing and forming your own teams this time. The professor is not going to tell you to be in a team at any point in the second semester, but you essentially go through the same thing. You go a little bit more into strategies and prototyping and actually like validating your customer base.
So as it passes, I think it gets more and more intense. That's what I guess happens. That's nice. Actually, really, really interesting and unique course. So what is the fee structure like?
So this particular course, the fee is per credit base. And in total, the 3 semesters, it's a 30 credit course. So I think, at least in my year, the fee was $16.95 per credit. So and in the fall you have 12 credits, spring you have 15
credits. So what was the I-20
credits.
amount, if I may ask?
I-20 amount was somewhere around 80K, including
80,000.
the housing expenses.
And do you remember what is it for the tuition alone?
Tuition alone was around 50 to 55, if I'm not wrong.
Okay, that's nice. And do they offer any scholarships?
They do. So through the program itself will offer, I think, up to 20% scholarship per credit. So the scholarship doesn't apply to like any other amount. It just applies to the tuition alone.
Tuition fees. Okay.
Yeah.
And did you secure any scholarship?
Yeah, I did. I secured the scholarship.
May I know how much did you secure?
I got a 20% scholarship.
Oh, this 20% scholarship. Okay, that's nice.
Yeah.
And coming to part-time jobs, like how are the TA and RA position RA opportunities? Like, is it easy to get, or like is it very competitive? How is it?
So this particular course doesn't have a lot of TA RA opportunities in the first semester. So the Tufts University also offers this as a dual degree, so you can combine it with another 1-year master's course and get like 2 master's degrees out of it. So a lot of times students who do that have more opportunities to get a TA RA-ship position for the next batch of MSIM students, because when they are doing their dual degree, that fall semester they can TA a course that they've already taken. But for the first semester, when you join in, there aren't really TA RA positions that the department offers. If you have a good enough background, you can contact professors from the other departments and get like a TA or RA position, and there are people who have done that. Alternatively, but there are a lot of other kinds of on-campus jobs that are available for students, and that's something that you can apply to. And
are you doing any part-time? I'm sorry.
I work with my particular department as an marketing intern. So I got that job through applying. We use Handshake as our job portal. So any job opportunity that's there across Tufts for students will be posted on Handshake. And you just you apply with a cover letter and
So it is like a part-time on-campus job and not related to your CPT or an internship, right?
No.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
So, and
yeah.
what is the salary?
I get paid around $18 an hour.
Okay, and what can an
Around
average
Tufts,
salary
there's a
be?
minimum of $15 an hour that's standard.
$15 is the minimum salary that everyone
Yes,
gets. Okay,
yes.
that's nice. So, coming to the future prospects, like what are the future prospects of this
Yeah.
course? Like, what kind of jobs you can get into, and does the university help you guys find out finding the jobs?
So when it comes to the job market in the US, people should understand that it's heavily based on networking. Like just applying to jobs or even just going to like the career fairs is not going to do much for you unless you outside of those events go out and network with people, talk to them, get your word out there so that they can put in a good word for you and
Mm-hmm.
get you a job. When it comes to networking, Tufts Gordon Institute, which is the department that handles this program, gives you a lot of opportunities. Like they every single week they have new people from the industry coming in. They have a good 3 to 4 dedicated networking nights.
Mm-hmm.
In my spring semester, I was put in touch with one-to-one with a mentor for my job
Oh,
searching prospects. So
that's
I have
nice.
like one industry person that I keep talking to, and he gives me tips. I anytime I have like a struggle or anything like that, I always ask him, and we stay in touch. So they they will offer everything for you to make those connections, but actually going out and reaching out to people,
It's your
making those
effort, I guess.
connections, yes, it's what the student does. That's what anytime somebody asks me about this, I'm like, it's dependent on how much you use utilize those resources, because they
Mm-hmm.
are there, the resources are
Got it.
there, you just have to utilize them.
Utilize it in the right way, I
Yeah,
guess. So,
yeah.
what
And
would be the probability of finding a full-time job? Like, any rough estimation that you can give?
so to be honest, when it comes to so with this course, I see majorly 3 to 4 different kinds of jobs you can get. First one, which is very it's kind of common, but a lot of teams just continue into entrepreneurship. So because you have been working on this sprint, a lot of time the sprint ideas that you have been doing and all the work you've been doing is very promising and can actually be converted. Actually, all of them can be converted into startups. Some teams decide that they're really passionate about it and they want to do it as a startup. So a lot of startup teams have come out of it. The second most popular role that I see people going to after the course is product management roles. The third is people go into like either some strategy or some consulting or that kind of a position.
Okay.
And the fourth is technically miscellaneous, because there are people who have gone into like investment banking, finances,
Ooh,
people who've gone into like design thinking, data science, because the course really allows that flexibility. You get all of these different skills. You can
yeah,
go into like a marketing position, you can go into a finance analyst position, you can go into any kind of, if we have a data science course
yeah.
that's very thorough, you can go into a data science research position. So there are a lot
That's
of
nice.
opportunities there. It
Mm-hmm.
depends on what your personal career goals are. Majority of people, when they join in, they end up going to product management role, but not all of them. Some people are like, okay, that's not what I like, and they'll go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
In terms
so,
of the number of people who get
yeah,
jobs,
yeah.
I have not really, from the alumni at least, I have not really met somebody who did not end up getting a job. Although this year,
That's
I will
nice.
say right now, the job market is really bad.
Bad,
It's
extremely.
in a terrible state. So
I
I am
know.
seeing people around me and myself included suffering a little bit in that
Yes,
era. So time will
that's
tell. I
true.
do think everybody will end up with a good enough position. It's just going to
Mm-hmm.
take normally a little longer than what ideally would.
Mm-hmm. I think so. So,
Yeah.
yeah, that's true. Like, so are you at least getting any job calls or something like
I
callbacks or
I
something?
am networking. I have a few calls lined up for the coming week as well. So we'll
Oh,
see
that's
where
nice.
things go.
Well, all the best for that. Let's hope it
Yeah,
works out
thank
for you.
you.
So, what are the average salaries that we can expect once we land in a job,
Mhm.
like after graduating?
It average salary actually depends on how much experience you came in before. So
Okay.
in this particular course, like there are people who come in with 5 to 6 years of work experience, and then people who come in right after college. So the
Okay.
starting salaries for those are going to be very different.
Mm,
It's, there are people start off with upwards of like 120, 150 a year, but there are also
okay.
entry level people who might start off with 80 to 90.
So it
Normally,
should be a
from
between 80 to 120, I'm guessing.
yeah, I don't think anybody in the course, because people know their value, I don't think anybody positions them below that time
That's nice.
frame, like
Range.
frame.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, I agree. I mean, like, that's actually a good enough range, like
yeah.
as a start, at least. But yeah, so let's talk about like your experience, your first
Mm.
impression when you've come to US. What was it like when you first landed in US?
I had done a lot of like research before coming in, and a lot of my friends, although I didn't have any immediate friends in Boston, I knew people in and around like New York, Washington, Indianapolis, California.
Uh-huh.
So I knew coming in Boston was going to be cold. I didn't know exactly how cold. That was something I had to learn.
Okay.
But I came in with certain expectations. I would say that it's a different kind of lifestyle, but for me it wasn't that how hard to adjust as such. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it took a little bit of time to kind of get routine with the environment and
Got it.
things like that. Yeah.
Nice.
What helped me at least was doing a lot of like research beforehand and having
Research. So
like
it was not a surprise, like not an extreme surprise
yeah,
or something for you because you
yeah,
were prepared.
yeah. And I would say that goes out to anybody who's looking to come in the US, but it's really important to figure out how you're going to travel in and around, not even just like daily going to college or anything like that, even just like grocery stores or something like that.
Yeah.
Because I know that Boston had a public system, like a subway system, and their buses are pretty reliable. So that was good for me. I had already done a little bit of research. How does the system work? Like, how do I have to pay? What's the
Mm-hmm.
terminologies that people use when talking about the public system? Because transport system, basically. I
Yeah.
I was not going to have a car before coming in, right? But
Yeah.
a lot of the cities in the in this particular country, you don't have that luxury. So
Yeah.
you have to figure out how you're going to manage without a car or go out and buy a car or something like that. So yeah, that's
Yeah, I
really
mean, like, you
important.
mean that not every state has the public transport system, right?
Not every city also has the public transport system. Okay,
That's like
it's
extreme.
and even if they do, not all of them are very reliable. Like we know that,
Got it.
New York, Washington, Boston,
Yeah.
reliable systems. LA may be kind of reliable, but really not.
So
But
every city has a different kind of
has a
system. You should
different,
better research. So
yeah,
how's the Indian community at your university, and like how's
yeah.
the diversity at your university in with
Mm.
respect to Indians? Like too many Indians or like good enough or too less?
Yeah. So in my course is very, very diverse. We have people from, I think, 10 to 12 different countries in my current
Nice.
cohort itself. And my cohort is only 38 people. So
Nice.
it's not a lot. I think I think six of us are from Indian origin, like who've come
Okay.
from India. Then another two, three are like second generation Indian Americans.
Indians. Okay.
So we have become kind of close and we keep in touch. We have a little bit broader because courses like computer science, data science have a little bit more in I'm sorry,
Indians.
Indians at Tufts University. Although I would say that Tufts University as a whole is not as big of a university as like MIT, Harvard, or Northeastern.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the community here is you have much more students from other Asian descents than Indian descent. So
Okay.
it's not in numbers, it's not as much, but I have found it to be kind of an active community. And like, I mean,
Got it.
at least with my classmates, we keep in touch,
Well,
we
I
keep
think
going
that's
out.
what, yeah, that's
Yeah.
what you would expect when you come to a different country, right? Like, why would
Yeah.
you really like to see so many Indians? You wouldn't, because you came all the way from India.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that was one of the diversity of my particular course, was one of the reasons why I rejected a few other universities,
Okay,
you know,
that's
in
nice.
terms of deciding where to go.
Yeah. So let's talk about your living situation a little bit.
Yeah.
So do you stay near to the campus or away from the
Yes.
campus?
I stay near to the campus. I technically, the building where my classes happen, I live like 0.6 miles away.
Oh,
The
walkable.
house right next to mine is like actual, like technically on campus housing for graduate students.
Okay,
So it's kind of close.
nice.
I still sometimes think it's far in the winter when you have to walk all the way, but it's I know that compared to the anywhere else that you can
Yes, it is close, I
probably live,
guess.
it's pretty close. Yes. Oh, my
What is your
rent
rent?
is 1,500 a month. Um,
Okay, and it's yours.
yeah, and
It's a single shared apartment.
no. So my apartment is it's 4 rooms, 4 individual rooms, common washroom, common kitchen.
And your
So
share is 1500.
yes, my share is
That's
1,500. Yes.
huge.
It's also the cost of living in Boston, Medford. If I go into the actual Boston city for a setup like I have right now, it wouldn't be anything less than 2,000,
That's heavy.
Yeah.
That's like really a
It's
lot.
it's a very
So,
heavy living cost.
how are you managing your expenses? Is $18 per hour enough for you, or like, what are
Um,
you doing?
it's not enough. Like it wouldn't cover my rent. Also because I'm not working a full 20 hours. My course is very, very intense for a master's course. So
Okay.
it's not practical to be working 20 hours a week and then doing the course. Every time, like I always recommend not to go above 10 hours. Um,
Mm-hmm.
if you don't have to, kind of a thing. So
Yeah,
that is
yeah.
one.
It's a 1 year course, so obviously it's too
Yes.
intense again.
Yes, it is. And then what I am doing is most of like my housing and everything is covered through the loan that I took to come
Okay.
here. So
Okay, that's
yeah.
good.
And
So
then
right
so
now,
my
oh yeah, go ahead.
rent is covered by the loan, and then expenses and all my weekly salary covers.
Okay. And what are you earning per month?
Um, I mean, like I said, I work 10 hours a week for 4 weeks in a
So
month.
180,
18.
180
Yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
week.
Yeah,
180 a
yeah,
week. Okay, that's nice.
yeah. The thing is, over
So,
here, the payroll system works on a weekly basis and not a monthly
yeah,
basis. That's why I don't have like the number
yeah,
right
I
on
get it.
top of
I
my
get you.
head. Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay, I know you are managing through loan and all, but generally, like, what
Mm.
is average month total expenses? What are the average total expenses?
It depends on whether
A
you
ballpark
cook at
number.
home. Okay. Ballpark number, I don't think it for a week per person it goes above it 150, 170. If you are like a very extraordinary, like eat out every day, that kind of a
Yeah.
person, uh then probably actually even 150, to be honest, for a week is a little bit high. um
Okay.
for grocery store shopping and everything, normally 70 to 100 a week
Okay.
is I have found to be enough. But
Got it.
yeah, if you
So,
are
in
going
an
out,
all
maybe.
overall, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Overall, in a month, like including rent, utilities, other bills, and etc., how much do you think a person would spend, like completely, like
In a
total?
in a month, um I would say, at least I can tell you about my spending. I'm not sure about others.
Okay.
My spending never really exceeds 2,500, and that's on like a bad month.
Okay. So in
Like,
the worst
yeah,
case, it's
yeah,
2,500.
Yeah.
That's the
Because
okay. That's
my
nice.
rent covers the utilities and everything. So I
Yeah.
don't have to pay extra beyond that.
Okay.
And then
And you
I'm just
said you're
kind of
sharing the room, or you have a single room?
no. I have a single room. There
Okay.
are four single rooms in
Got
my
it.
apartment, but yeah, my room I am living alone. That's one of
Okay.
the reasons why it's also a little high because
Yeah. Got it.
yeah,
But still, in the worst case, it's 2,500 you mentioned. That's nice.
yeah,
So,
for
can
Medford,
you?
not for Boston.
Oh,
Med, like
Medford. Okay.
yeah,
That's a little
it's
outside Boston, you mentioned,
yes,
right?
yes.
Okay. Got it. So, can you share one good experience and one bad experience you had till now throughout your course or throughout your time in US?
Um, I mean, to be honest, so good experiences I have had a lot in terms of my course. Beautiful, wonderful. I love the people, I love the professors. It's great. Bad experiences. I so the winter over here is like I mentioned, it's really harsh, but you have to be
Mm-hmm.
very careful because I came from like Mumbai and Hyderabad. I never really experienced a lot of like
Yeah.
snow and things like
Mm-hmm.
that. So I remember that there were I might have fallen at least 3 to 4 times in the
Yeah.
snow because it's not the white snow that is scary. Normally when the white snow starts melting, you have this clear slip of ice that will
Ice,
form,
right?
and it's really hard to see that it's there, and if you step on it, it's very
Yeah.
easy to slip. So I
Yeah.
have fallen like 3 4 times. That was not great.
Okay. So
Yeah.
that's the bad experience you have.
Yeah, I
Well,
mean,
I think you have a
you
couple
know.
of more months to deal with it.
Thankfully not snow. At least they're not
Yeah, not
predicting
snow, the,
snow,
the city, I
but
mean.
wind. I would say another thing, Boston. I know Chicago and all is probably worse than this, but I've not been there. But it's not the cold temperatures that's that bad, it's the wind that is bad. Like
Okay.
you can layer up and handle temperatures. No amount of layering up is going to prepare you for the wind that is
Wind.
there.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Well, that was nice. So, any advice you have for the future aspirants, like students who are planning to pursue masters,
Mm.
especially at your university, maybe?
Yeah. I would say so if you're planning to pursue uh okay, I would divide this into two different kinds of advices. If you're planning to pursue my particular course, if you're planning to come to Tufts University for an MS in Innovation and Management, I would say be prepared to have like a very intense experience. Like it's a very time-consuming course. It's not like other courses where you get to kind of hang out. You only have 3 classes in a week. In my
Hmm.
particular course, you have classes every single day, and you're probably going to be working with your team on campus throughout the day, morning to night kind of a thing. So it's you have to dedicate that amount of time, and you need to be mentally prepared to dedicate that amount of time, because
Okay.
you will do that, but you also get the benefits of it. It's a
Yep.
very rewarding course. You get to learn a lot in a very short period of time. On the other hand, my advice to students who are coming to just Tufts University in general for graduate level degrees, my advice would be know that Tufts University, there's a very very good support system that is there in the university in terms of like actual communities and just university level policies and things like that. I would say
Hmm.
please learn about those support systems when you come in, because it's a lot of time what I see happening is people don't know that they exist, so they don't end up utilizing it. So
Okay.
that's where I find the lack. So I'm like, I always try to educate people what you have access to, what you don't have access to.
Yeah.
But I would also suggest the students who come in to really go out and find, because you can find these details on the websites. It may be a little
Hmm.
hard, which is why you attend the orientation sessions. But yeah,
Yeah.
they have a very good, especially for sciences and engineering on a graduate level, they have a lot of good resources that students can utilize.
Well, that those were some really nice advices. I hope
Yeah,
like they would really help out the students. And thank you so much for sharing your experience.
no problem. Thank you for having
Yeah,
me.
Yeah, thank you,
Thank you.
and have a good day.
Yes, you
Yeah,
too.
yeah. Bye bye. One sec. Bye bye.